Hello, beautiful people. It is me, Mike. what? That was the best intro of all time. What's up, everybody? Mike from the Fantasy Footballers here. Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Periscope. I see all you beautiful people. I'm glad you're here for this edition of Sunday Live. What is it, week 9? Yeah. Oh, my goodness. We're getting into the nitty-gritty, the meat and potatoes, the middle. I don't know why the meat and potatoes is the middle. I mean, that's really that's neither here nor there. But welcome to Sunday Live, where we walk through some last-minute advice, some news, my process. You just get a good look at this handsome face, and we have a good time for the next 30 minutes or so. So, with that, I'm going to jump into the questions. We'll hit the news as it comes out. I feel like we do say this nearly every single week, that it's been a crazy Sunday, but this one with the injuries of the in and who's out has been it's causing a bit of an uproar here at the Fantasy Footballers headquarters, such as Tony on YouTube's talking about Carson, Sony, Gronk, oh my. If you don't know what that means, that's because Chris Carson, Sony Michel, Rob Gronkowski are all considered game-time decisions. So I'm sure I'm going to be fielding a lot of questions that have to do with these three players. So let's start with the Patriots. If you have a different option than Gronk, you're probably going to want to take it. The backup planning doesn't work this week. He's playing the Pats are playing against the Green Bay Packers. Jimmy Graham, I'm guessing, is not available on your waiver wire, so you cannot protect yourself there. Meanwhile, the Monday night game, Dallas, Tennessee. Cool. The tight end situation for those two teams. Jeff Swaim, he's been a fine play, but he's now looking doubtful, so you would be choosing between Blake Jarwin and Rico Gathers, or on the other side, maybe Jonnu Smith. And if you're cool that your backup option is probably going to get you 2 points, then you can roll that direction. Otherwise, make plans right now. For example, my league, hopefully I grabbed and waivers just cleared. I'm not able to check right now, but I'm grabbing Ben Watson. My plan is, as of right now, to put him in instead of Rob Gronkowski. No, I'm not going to wait it out. I'm going to make that decision. Sony Michel, I'm going to be pretty surprised if he doesn't play. However, if you don't have a backup option, I would make that move right now, that I'm not going to wait and be holding the bag with a 0-pointer. Chris Carson, man, same deal. I'm going to be pretty risk-adverse this particular week and go with my other options. So, such as Steve says, Gronk or O.J. Howard. O.J. Howard. Boom, he's in. I'm not taking that chance. Tones wants to know, Laquan Treadwell. So, Stephon Diggs. I mean, all practice reports were telling us he was trending out. The player said he was going to play with the rib injury, talking about Stephon Diggs. He is officially out. That bumps up Laquan Treadwell in the depth chart. I have moved Treadwell up a decent amount in my rankings. I got him as a fringe wide receiver 3. I'm willing to play him. I'm willing to take that shot if you are in desperation mode. I hope that you had at least one depth piece at your wide receiver position that you can go with him. But if you got to make that flip from Diggs to Laquan Treadwell, look, Kirk Cousins is a very good quarterback in my opinion, so I'm willing to play his top weapons. Kyle Rudolph, by the way, bump. He gets a nice bump. I think he might get the biggest bump of anybody from the injury to Stephon Diggs. Melvin Gordon, he's going to play. If he is going to play, I am playing Melvin Gordon with full confidence. I'm not treating him like Gronk or Sony. I'm plugging him in. I don't have a backup plan. If he doesn't play or if he plays limited, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. But a guy like Melvin Gordon, if he's active, you got to play him. Unlike Dalvin Cook, what are the Minnesota Vikings doing? I have no idea. Apparently Dalvin Cook will be active for limited snaps. Cool. Why? Why is he active? Baby Josh, why is Dalvin Cook active? Baby Josh doesn't know. I don't know. No one who plays fantasy football or follows football knows. Maybe the Vikings front office, maybe they know something that we don't. I don't know. Moving on. Allen says Jordan Howard or Kerryon Johnson in a PPR. Theo Riddick is back for the Detroit Lions. That puts a high probability that Kerryon Johnson will lose some of that passing down work. That's sweet. Oh, so juicy. So valuable passing down work that he was getting the past couple weeks, especially last week when he saved his day. But he still will catch, 2 to 4 passes. There's a lot of people who are on Jordan Howard. I hate the matchup against Buffalo. I like Tariq Cohen. I like Tariq Cohen more than Jordan Howard rest of season. I'm concerned about it, but I would still play Kerryon Johnson. Theo Riddick will take away, but I would still play Kerryon in this particular instance. With the PPR, you're going to get a nice little bonus. We'll just call it a bonus from Kerryon Johnson. Nick Chubb or Kerryon Johnson in a full-point PPR. Man, the full PPR makes Kerryon super interesting here, but I love Nick Chubb this week against the Kansas City Chiefs. They are among the league worst in allowing. That was the word, allow and gouge at the exact same time. I'm trying to, trim the fat. Just combine all my words and make them dual meaning. The Kansas City Chiefs allow big plays, allow gouge plays to the opposing running backs. My goodness, I'm falling apart. Baby Josh, it's all your fault. This person wants to know McCoy or Peyton Barber. I'm still going to play Shady McCoy. Hopefully they get that Wildcat nonsense out of there for Buffalo. I like those extra touches for Shady, but that crap just was not working. It was not working at all. It doesn't work for the way that Shady runs. So hopefully they get that out of there. But passing work should keep LaShawn McCoy as fantasy relevant. I don't love either of these options, but I'll go with McCoy here. I'll go with the guy that's for sure going to get some passing work. Njoku or Rudolph? That is an interesting question with the way I feel about Kyle Rudolph getting the bump up. I'm still going to play David Njoku, though. I know he goosed. I know he hurt you real bad. He gave you a nice brand on the butt cheeks that says 0 points. Maybe he cost you the week. This is what happens with the tight end position. Look at the people who've been playing Kyle Rudolph. He's been costing them weeks too. So, but if I got to choose between the two of them, I'm going to go with David Njoku. Chris Carson or Latavius Murray in a standard league? I would play Latavius Murray. I have him higher in my rankings regardless. The matchup, we'll see what Snacks can do, Snacks Harrison for the Lions. But then you get to avoid that spooky, we're past Halloween, everybody. Enough of this ominous game time decision. Get that crap out of my face. Make a decision. Be decisive. Take action. Stop with this, maybe they're going to play, maybe they won't. We don't like it. We don't appreciate it. NFL fans, fantasy fans, we don't appreciate that. If you got a guy like Latavius Murray, that's the way that you're going to go. The Josh Gordon or the Doug Baldwin PPR flex. Oh, man. Doug Baldwin. What happened? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Doug Baldwin. Josh Gordon supposed to be disciplined this past week. Wink, wink. Hey, he got that Belichick discipline. Look, with Gronk out, and Julian Edelman, he's going to play. I like Edelman a lot, but Edelman's dealing with his own injury stuff. He was listed as questionable but expected to play. I would play Josh Gordon over Doug Baldwin. It's your flex. I'm going to go after those points. I'm going to hit that nitro button like Josh Gordon can. Tom Brady and Josh Gordon have narrowly missed on just a handful of big play opportunities. So you got to go with that. The big plays will come. You got to follow those air yards. Crowell or Amendola, flex, full point PPR. So if you didn't hear, part of the curious case of this Sunday morning was Kenny Stills was ruled out, at least by Adam Schefter. But then arch nemesis Ian Rappaport came in and said, "Oh, not so fast, Adam. Kenny Stills is active. They liked what they saw from the warm-up." It blows my mind that teams are making these kinds of decisions based on how a guy is warming up. You've seen him practicing or lack of practice, and then you take his stretching and him running a couple real slow routes and go, yeah, you've shown it to me. We're going to play you. But here we are, and Kenny Stills is active. I think that puts the biggest hit to Devontae Parker. I'm not exactly sure what the playtime split is going to be between Stills, Parker, Jakeem Grant. Amendola's role is safe. He should get some nice targets, but I love Crowell this week. He's my start of the week. I mean, I really think that this could be one of those bigger Crowell weeks. And the Jets are getting some weapons back, which I actually like. I mean, Quincy's back. Robbie Anderson is back. You can't just completely stack the box and dare the Jets to beat you through the air and knowing that they have no weapons. So I'm interested. I'm going to play not Nick Chubb. I'm going to play him too, but I'm going to play Isaiah Crowell. Taylor wants to know Julian Edelman or Keenan Allen. Ooh, Keenan Allen and Doug Baldwin. They're amongst the tops of disappointing guys. Keenan Allen, I mean, he's been fine, but you didn't draft him to be fine. You drafted him to be what he was the second half of the year. The only thing missing, though, is touchdowns. Between Edelman and Keenan Allen, the upside, man, thinking about it now, I was going to say the upside goes to Keenan Allen, but for Edelman, if Gronk is out, whenever Gronk is out, Edelman is just an absolute target machine because he's the go-to guy in the middle of the field. So, unfortunately, you won't be able to have that news because Gronkowski is the Sunday night game. I don't know. I'd go in Keenan Allen's matchup. I don't love it. I'm going to go with Julian Edelman. I'm going to take Edelman. I think those guys are very close in my rankings, but if I had to make the choice between the two for me and my team, I would play Julian Edelman. Next question, John Beck. John Beck. It's a good name. Big Ben or Matthew Stafford? Don't love either of these players this particular week with Big Ben on the road against the Ravens, Stafford against the Vikings. The good news for Stafford is Xavier Rhodes is playing. Generally not good news, but he's banged up. And the last time that these fellas played, Marvin Jones stole Rhodes' lunch money and had himself a monster game. I'm going to play Matt Stafford between the two of them. Before we get into some more questions, I want to thank everyone for joining us on the Sunday Live. If you have no idea who I am, hey, I'm Mike. I'm from the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. You might want to think about supporting the show. We really, really appreciate our patrons. They help the independent podcast go. You are the fuel for this rocket ship. You can check that out, jointhefoot.com. There's tons of really, really cool perks, like a bonus show every single week with questions only from the people supporting over there. Our flex rankings. I mean, you go check it out. Tons of really cool stuff. And it's a day that ends in Y. Did you know that? There's a Y at the end of Sunday. That means you need to go to footclanvote.com and help support the show. We're trying to win that iHeartRadio podcast award, and we can't do it without you. So we really, really appreciate you taking the 30 seconds, dropping that vote each and every day. Really, we really do appreciate you. The Foot Clan, they assemble. They're undefeated. Back to the questions. Baby Josh, do you have a question? I don't care. Next, because you're not one of the listeners. That was really mean. I'm sorry. Matt Ryan or Mitch Trubisky? Ooh, Mitchell. It's got those fast feet. He's looking like Tim Tebow. I mean, he's a little faster than Tim Tebow, but he's getting his production like Tim Tebow. Just running around. I'm going to play Matt Ryan. I'm going to stick with Matt Ryan in this, if that's my instance. Evan wants to know, did I address Cook? Dalvin Cook, I did. All I have is the reports of limited snaps, which means you cannot play Dalvin Cook. And I still play Latavius Murray with some strong confidence. Greg wants to know, Mark Ingram or Peyton Barber in a full-point PPR. I have Mark Ingram just outside of my running back ones this week. He's still getting enough work. He's still getting enough work in the passing game. The touchdowns, that sucks. We really thought Mark Ingram was going to have more touchdown upside and be splitting some of that work with Kamara. Hasn't panned out that way. I mean, he still got a goal line carry last week. Just he happened to get stuffed. So I still have confidence, though. I'm still going to play Mark Ingram. The ceiling is not what it was, where we could be looking at Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram both hitting that running back 1 top 12 threshold every single week. But I still like Mark Ingram more than Peyton Barber. We'll see. We'll see what Peyton Barber can do with see if he gets sprinkled with a little bit of Fitz magic. Matt wants to know Juju or Kenny Golladay. It's a PPR. Ooh, that's a very, very tough question. Do you believe what Marvin Jones did last time against Xavier Rhodes is the regular? Was that just he beat him for one game? Because if you're going to buy into Jones getting, a little heavier on the coverage treatment from Xavier Rhodes, I think I called him Xavier and Xavier in the same show. Rhodes. We'll stick with Rhodes. Then maybe Kenny Golladay gets a little bit more work. Juju is Juju, though. I mean, that's just how it goes. But he has the tougher matchup, in my opinion. I think Juju is safer. I think he's safer in terms of targets and floor. But it's not very – there's not a wide gap in my rankings between these two fellas. So I would play Juju. I'd play Juju if I had to make the call between the two. But if you're feeling Golladay, I'm not going to hold that against you. Probably because I won't know. I won't know if you played him. Or you'll tell me. Next question. Oh, that's refreshing. That hit the spot. Let's see. Oh, Big Dog says, footballers, you guys rock. Big Dog Mac, you rock, my man. Thank you for supporting the show. Really appreciate it. Ryan wants to know Flacco or Fitzmagic. Come on, man. This is me sprinkling that magic powder. Grab Tinkerbell. Shake her. Get some of that fairy dust. Think positive thoughts, and you can fly. Second star on the left. Head off to Neverland. Fly with the beard. Ryan Fitzpatrick. Come on. Joe Flacco or Fitzmagic, the man with the best start in fantasy football history, who then got benched because he couldn't hold on to the starting role, but now he's got it back? Why would you not want to play Fitzmagic? You got to play Fitzmagic. Robert wants to know bearded or beardless Jason. Oof, that's an easy call. You got to go with the bearded Jason. It's much better. It's much better for everyone who has to look at him. Green Deer wants to know Carrion or Sony Michel. Boom, easy. Avoid Sony Michel with this one. Carrion Johnson is a fine option, so avoid Sony Michel with that one. I'll tackle this one. This one's a little bit more difficult from VGO 2009. Eckler or Sony Michel in a standard. So if Sony Michel plays, he would be ranked higher, obviously, than Austin Eckler. Eckler has been very efficient in games where Melvin Gordon was the lead dog, and Eckler just kind of comes in and cleans up, sneaks past the defense. They get thrown off, I don't know, by the change of pace. I'm not really sure why Eckler is able to do what he is able to do. It's a standard league. Man. Oh, man. Look, you're taking a risk if you're going to rely on Sony Michel. We've no idea if he's going to play. Game time decision. I think he will play. I believe that because Pro Football Doc on Twitter had reported earlier. He said he believes that Sony Michel will be able to come back and play. So I'm trusting the doctor's advice. Obviously, he's not the team doctor, and he's not down in there examining guys, but he's pretty solid. He has a pretty good hit rate on these types of things. So if it's a lower level option like Eckler or Sony Michel, maybe I just go for it with Sony and cross those fingers. Sam says John Brown or Jordan Howard. John Brown. Get the king of the ADOT. The Arizona Department of Transportation king himself, John Brown. Who got the laugh from that one? Was that Brooks? It was both? That joke was terrible. The average depth of target king, John Brown, goes up against the Steelers, who are with the Saints. They allow deep targets. So those shots are going to happen. You just need one to connect. Meanwhile, you need Jordan Howard to score a touchdown. So I'm going to go with the bigger upside of Johnny Brown. I'm going to throw him out there. Where are we at? We got about 10 minutes. McCoy or Drake in a full-point PPR, says Eddie. Oh, man. Drake has been so efficient, and I don't ever want to believe that he's able to get it done. But if this is your option of McCoy against the Bears or Drake, I guess I'm going to play Drake. Yep. I'm going to go with Drake. I don't feel great about it, but that's where I'm going to go. Santiago says, hey, Mike. What's up, my man? Deadly says Mark Ingram or Kerryon Johnson. They're super close in my rankings, like really, really close, maybe even back-to-back. So I'm going to take, gee whiz. Well, I mean, Mark Ingram. I guess that makes it easy because in the league of record, I have the choice of playing Mark Ingram or Kerryon Johnson. We're a half-point PPR format. I'm choosing to play Mark Ingram. So if you're going with my advice, I'm taking my own advice and I'm playing Mark Ingram. Carson Eckler or Aaron Jones? So made-up player. I'm just razzing you, little Rick. Austin Eckler is clearly what he meant to type, or Aaron Jones. It's Aaron Jones' time. Look, we've been waiting for it. We've all been waiting for Aaron Jones' time. Aaron's Jones? Whatever. Aaron Jones' time. That's the way I'm gonna go. Let's see. Someone said Aaron Jones or Sony Michel. Parentheses, if he's playing. Like I said, I can't guarantee that he is gonna play. So you got to go with Aaron Jones. Winston Smith says, Hard Locket or Cortland Sutton. Ooh. Both are fringy type of players. By fringy, I mean wide receiver 2, top 24 guys. Hot Locket. He's been hot. I mean, he's a good friend. J.J. Zachariason refers to what Lockett is doing as he's just breaking math because he's catching a touchdown every 4 receptions. I mean, you can't count on that. It's not possible to do that. Or is it? Because he's doing it right now, and he's done it for, 8 weeks or so? Absolutely ridiculous. What do they do with Cortland Sutton now that they've traded Demaryius Thomas? What do they do? By that, I mean, how heavily is he featured in this passing offense? I think he's going to be a stud. Let's say 7 to 9 target range for him, and Hot Locket's much lower. But 1 every 4 receptions is a touchdown, man. That's ridiculous. I'm going to play Cortland Sutton, though. Hey-oh! I tricked you. I pulled the rope-a-dope. Me and Ali. That's what we're known for, rope-a-doping. Or just being dopes. One of the two. Half-point PPR, Aaron Jones. This is from Josh. He says Aaron Jones or Drake. Ooh, I got an audible noise from Brooks. I made it in my head. I went, ooh. I should have skipped this question because it's very difficult. But that's why we're here, for the tough questions. Brooks, who would you play if you had to play Aaron Jones or Kenyon Drake? Yeah. Under his breath, he says Drake. Oh, I'm sorry you have to make that decision. I would play Aaron Jones, but Brooks says Drake, so I don't know. I mean, that one's super, super difficult. Good luck. Well, let's Baby Josh, you're a third voice in this room. You're considered by most someone who plays fantasy football. So what's your answer? Jones. All right, that's 2 for Jones. Brooks doesn't mind it. Don't at me when Kenyon Drake scores 2 touchdowns. Rohan says Cooper Kupp or Keenan Allen. Cooper Kupp coming off of the injury. It doesn't sound like he's going to be eased on down the road into action. Coach McVay. Did you guys hear about this? That Kupp is going to be like one of those he's going to be a captain in today's game because apparently the Saints are honoring Cooper's dad for something. I didn't get to dive in this morning. I just briefly saw the headline article. But Cooper Kupp in the slot, he should get P.J. Williams from the Saints. That's nice. I honestly think that Cooper Kupp is at least scoring a touchdown this week. So they're close in rank. Keenan Allen's a little bit higher in my rankings, but I think that Cooper Kupp has the higher touchdown possibility, which would make him have the higher ceiling. We got 5 minutes left, which means we're about to hit into the rapid round where I start, or I should say I stop yapping. I try and give you quick picks. Quick reminder before we close out the show with Rapid Round. Jointhefoot.com. Help support the show. Get really, really cool perks from the fantasy footballers. Check it out. We got over 7,000 people in there. Good people. You know, you get access to the forums. Just check it out. Tons of really cool stuff for supporting the show for, I mean, it's super cheap, right? I mean, it's $5 a month. You get an extra show every week. That's a cup of coffee. That's what everyone's go-to is, it's the same as a cup of coffee. I'm not paying $5 for coffee. Who's paying $5 for coffee? You Starbucksian people. You know, make it at home. And then support the show because you're not spending money on coffee. FootClanVote.com. We got to do it. Come on, Foot Clan. FootClanVote.com. iHeart Podcast Awards. Vote every single day. Whew. Let me get a sip here. All right, let's do it. Valerie, Traquan Smith, or Chris Godwin. I really like both. I'm going to go with T. Cutie, potential shootout with the New Orleans Saints. Naked Jaybird says Marquez, Valdez Scantling, or Kenny Golladay. I do like both, but I'm going to go with Kenny Golladay if I have to choose between the two. Doc Huckleberry wants to be your Huckleberry with Randall Cobb or Tyrell Williams. I'm going to play Tyrell. I'm going to go for the long bomb instead of Randall Cobb. And, man, the carcass of Randall Cobb and what could have been and what is not happening. Can I use Crowell with the awful field conditions? That was a little bit of a buzzing, whatever you call it, trending on Twitter, talking about the field conditions for the Jets-Dolphins game. I'm not a botanist. I'm not a field keeper, so I can't really comment on this. They'll just have to put on the big spikes. Wembley Stadium, that thing, by all reports, is garbage frequently for these players. They just got to put on the deep spikes. And I still like Crowell a lot, so yes, you can use him. That's my official statement. Funchess or Kenny Golladay. Devin Funchess is actually in a very, very good spot this week. We talked about that. Talked? What was that? That was weird. We talked about that on the podcast, that we like the Panthers a lot, like Funchess, like the rookie, like Moore, DJ Moore. But I like Golladay more than Funchess. I do. I really like Kenny Golladay in this matchup. Tom Brady or Jared Goff? Look, I'm going to play Jared Goff, not just because it's fun to say, but because I believe it. I have him ranked higher in my rankings. Oh, man, you know when the show is almost over and I'm falling apart. Hey, Nate says Cooper Kupp or John Brown. I like them both a lot. I would play Cooper Kupp. Marvin Jones or Tariq Cohen? Ooh, very interesting. I'm going to go with Marvin Jones. Corey Davis or Jordan Howard in the flex? I'm going to play Jordan Howard. Corey Davis against Byron Jones makes me sad. Corey Davis really against anybody these days makes me sad. So stop making me sad, Corey Davis. Hey, Sammy Watkins or John Brown? That's difficult as well because Tyreek Hill is dealing with his groin. We don't know if he'll re-aggravate. We don't know the real severity of it. How limited will Tyreek Hill actually be? Oh, man. So that I would go. I'd go with Sammy Watkins. All right, last question. Beep, 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 beep. All right. Well, Chris Carson or Kerryon Johnson. I'm going to go with Kerryon Johnson to avoid the risk. So one more. Or Gronk or Olsen. If you have Olsen, play him over Gronk, please. All right, here we go. Kerryon Johnson or Lamar Miller. Lamar Miller been surging recently in a good matchup against the Denver Broncos, who they can simply run on. Kerryon Johnson, is he back into that three-way timeshare? I really want to see how close these guys are in my rankings. Lamar Miller, like I thought, just slightly ahead, 3 spots ahead of Kerryon Johnson. I'd play Lamar Miller. It's a crazy world we live in, but here we are, Week 9. Thank you so much, Foot Clan, for joining me for the Sunday Live. I hope you crush it. I really hope that I crush it because I've got some really questionable decisions to make for my own team. FootClanVote.com. Be there. Be square. Don't you ever forget, especially you, Baby Josh. Maybe not Baby Josh, but Brooks in particular, and all of you listeners at home. You're beautiful people. I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow on the podcast. Goodbye. Oh! Whoa!